Let me speak to you plainly. The reason most people remain shackled to mediocrity is not because life is unfair, nor because the world conspires against them, but because they're addicted to the illusion of control. This addiction is subtle, persistent, and devastating. It is the invisible chain that keeps your potential caged, your mind restless, and your opportunities just out of reach. It fools you into believing that you can outthink, outwork, or outmuscle every twist of fate. The tragedy is, the more tightly you grip the reins, the more you block the flow of all that could make you free, rich, and fulfilled. You have been told since childhood that discipline is the secret, that willpower wins the race, that success is a matter of meticulous planning and relentless force. These are half-truths. Discipline is vital, but not the discipline of strangling every detail, micromanaging every outcome, and worrying every minute. The real discipline, the one that brings lasting results, is the ability to take inspired action and then let go. It is a strength to release your death grip on outcomes and trust the process you have set in motion. Few possess this strength. That is why few taste real success. The world's most powerful creators, leaders, and visionaries do not operate from a place of anxiety and control. They understand something the masses do not. Results are not produced by tension, but by harmony. They know when to move and when to wait, when to shape and when to surrender. They trust the law of cause and effect, knowing that seeds planted in good faith, watered with effort, and released with trust will yield a harvest in due time. Their secret is not more control, but greater alignment. Their reward is not merely achievement, but a life that flows, where opportunities arrive as if summoned by invisible hands, and obstacles dissolve before persistent, relaxed action. But here is the hard truth. You will never experience this alignment if you insist on controlling every step, every person, every circumstance. You must learn to release the fear that drives your need for control. That fear is the root of all self-sabotage. It is what makes you settle for less, stay in toxic situations, and miss the very breakthroughs you crave. When you finally let go, you will discover a power within you far greater than worry, far more creative than compulsion, and far more reliable than any plan you could draw up on paper. Take a hard look at your life. Where are you gripping too tightly? Is it your work, your relationships, your finances, your reputation? How many sleepless nights have you spent replaying conversations, plotting your next move, or fretting about the opinions of others? How much energy have you burned trying to anticipate every pitfall or force every result? Now ask yourself, what has all that tension really brought you? More freedom? More success? Or more exhaustion and stagnation? Here's the paradox that few are willing to accept. Letting go is not giving up. It's not passivity, apathy, or laziness. Letting go is the most courageous act you can undertake because it means trusting yourself and the process enough to act boldly and then surrender what you cannot control. It means playing full out, then releasing the outcome. This is not what the world teaches you, but it is what every truly successful man or woman has learned, often through bitter trial. Picture the river. It moves mountains not by force, but by flow. It finds its way not through resistance, but through adaptability. In your own life, when you begin to let go, you become more like the river and less like the stone stuck in its path. You begin to notice that life offers you shortcuts, unexpected helpers, and unseen support precisely when you stop trying to micromanage every event. Make no mistake, letting go does not mean abandoning standards or turning your back on effort. It means knowing exactly where your responsibility ends and life's mysterious support begins. It means doing your best, then getting out of your own way. The moment you release, you create space for inspiration, for growth, for answers that could never appear in a cluttered, anxious mind. Think back on your own history. Recall those times when the very thing you desperately chased ran further from your grasp, and the moment you relaxed your pursuit, it came to you with ease. This is not coincidence. It's the universe responding to your energy, your alignment, your faith in a larger order. The same principle holds true for wealth, health, love, and opportunity. What you chase with fear and compulsion will always elude you. What you invite with preparation and trust will arrive. Now, make a decision. Decide to let go of the need to know every answer before you begin. Decide to stop managing the perceptions of others, to release the outcome of every action, to trust your preparation and your intuition. This decision will cost you your comfort zone, your old identity, and the false security of control. In return, it will give you access to a life that unfolds with a sense of magic and synchronicity, what some call luck, but what is really alignment. Start today. Practice letting go in small ways. If you've done your part in a conversation, leave it at that. If you've given your best effort to a project, stop tinkering. If you've made a decision, resist the urge to second guess. Each act of release is a declaration of trust, a message to yourself and the world that you believe in the process you've set in motion. With each release, you will feel a new energy, a rising clarity, a deepening confidence. Others will notice. They will sense your calm, your focus, your resilience. You will become a magnet for those who seek direction, for opportunities that require a steady hand, for challenges that crumble before your certainty. You will discover that the greatest power is not the power to control, but the power to align, internally first, then externally, as life bends to meet your quiet determination. This is the art of letting go. This is the discipline that distinguishes the perpetually anxious from the effortlessly successful. Commit to it now, and the days of wrestling with life will end. In their place, you will experience a new rhythm, a new flow, and a new abundance you never thought possible. The journey has already begun, the moment you decide to loosen your grip and trust what you have already set in motion. This is how your life, at last, aligns with the success you have always known you deserve. Begin by observing your own mind. Notice how many times a day you attempt to control situations that are clearly beyond your direct influence. It may be as simple as trying to orchestrate the reactions of a coworker, to force a loved one into agreement, to hurry an outcome, or to shield yourself from uncertainty by rechecking every detail. The problem is not that you care, but that you are unwilling to allow any possibility outside the narrow band of your preferences. This is a subtle arrogance, a belief that your vision is the only right vision, that your methods are the only way, that your timeline is the only proper schedule for the universe. You must kill this arrogance if you wish to truly progress. The great secret of every self-made achiever is that their greatest victories were born in moments of surrender, not struggle. They planned, yes. They worked, yes. But they also left a space for life itself to work through them, to surprise them, to deliver results in forms they could not have predicted. They let go of the rigid demand to dictate every variable, and thus they opened themselves to greater possibilities than their limited minds could ever have engineered. Understand this. Your mind is powerful, but it is not omnipotent. The greatest opportunities often come disguised as uncertainty, detours, or even failures. When you refuse to let go, you resist these gifts and they pass you by. Letting go demands faith, not in blind chance, but in the principle that life rewards those who move in alignment with its laws. Faith is the assurance that your preparation, your intentions, your persistence will ultimately yield fruit if you stay out of your own way. But to have faith is not to be naive. It is to cultivate a wisdom that knows the difference between inspired action and fearful compulsion. You must ask yourself honestly, are you acting from confidence or from fear? Is your hustle driven by vision or by desperation? Are you moving because you are called, or are you running in circles to escape the discomfort of uncertainty? You cannot let go as long as your self-worth is tied to external validation. If you need constant reassurance, applause, or guarantees before you move, you are still enslaved by the opinions and whims of others. True power is silent and self-contained. When you know your own value, you do not panic when outcomes are delayed or results are hidden. You move forward with steady determination, refusing to let the world's noise break your internal rhythm. In this way, you become unstoppable, not because you control every result, but because you refuse to be controlled by your fears. To master letting go, you must also master the art of focus. Paradoxically, letting go does not mean scatter your energy or lose your edge. Quite the opposite. It means focusing intensely on the few things you can control, your effort, your attitude, your standards, while refusing to dissipate your strength on the endless variables you cannot. The disciplined mind is ruthless about this. It invests effort where effort matters and then stands aside to watch the returns. This is how results compound. This is how breakthroughs appear seemingly out of thin air. The most dangerous trap for ambitious people is mistaking busyness for progress. You have been conditioned to believe that frantic effort and constant adjustment are signs of diligence. But often, they are signs of fear. Relentless tweaking is a symptom of doubt, a belief that nothing will work unless you hover over it, fret over it, and force it along. The truth is, mastery demands periods of inactivity, of space, of release. The most powerful actions are followed by powerful pauses. Think of the archer. Once the arrow is loosed, there is nothing more to be done but trust its flight. Develop the habit of decisive action, followed by decisive release. Set your goals, take bold steps, and then let the results come in their own season. Stop the cycle of endless rehashing, second-guessing, and frantic course correction. When you trust your initial preparation and your own growth, you create a foundation that does not require constant maintenance. The world responds to this confidence with opportunities and allies. Doubt and worry, on the other hand, attract only delays and resistance. There will be moments when circumstances tempt you to seize back control. Challenges, setbacks, and the unpredictable behavior of others will threaten your peace of mind. When this happens, remind yourself that the only true control you possess is over your response, not the external events. You must discipline your emotions, refuse to panic, and return to the principle of inspired action followed by release. This is how you outlast those who burn out in a frenzy of forced effort. Letting go is the highest form of self-mastery. It is not a one-time event, but a daily commitment. Every day you must choose to release the need to control the uncontrollable, to trust your process, and to allow success to find you on its own terms. This is the paradox. The less you force, the more you receive. The less you strain, the more energy and creativity you have for the things that truly matter. You will know you are mastering the art of letting go when you notice that your mind is less cluttered, your actions are more efficient, and your results seem to arrive with greater ease. You will notice a calm confidence in your dealings with others, a willingness to walk away from things that do not serve you, and a growing faith in your ability to navigate whatever comes. People will sense your peace and be drawn to it. Opportunities will seem to arise without effort. Your world will shift subtly at first, then with increasing momentum. Remember, the path to true success is not paved with anxiety and over-control. It is built on the foundation of intelligent effort, followed by the discipline to let go. You must learn to act with full commitment, then rest with full trust. This is how you make yourself available to miracles, to synchronicities, to those breakthroughs that cannot be planned, only received. If you wish to change your life, start by changing your relationship with control. Observe yourself, train yourself, and above all, commit to the principle that you are responsible only for your input, not the entire universe's response. This is the secret that frees your mind, increases your energy, and brings you into alignment with a flow of success that no amount of force could ever produce. As you integrate this lesson, you will find that your need for control fades, replaced by a rising sense of certainty, a knowing that life supports those who support themselves and then get out of their own way. You will begin to recognize the signs of alignment, the effortless progress, the joyful surprises, and the deep satisfaction that comes from letting go. The best is yet to come for those who dare to trust the process. Never forget it. Let go and watch your life align with the success that has always been yours to claim. You have now crossed the threshold where the act of letting go is no longer a struggle against your own instincts, but a conscious way of living. But the mind, conditioned for years, will test your resolve. Doubts will arise, and the pull of old habits will tempt you to retreat to the false safety of over-control. This is where true mastery is forged, not in moments of calm, but in the crucible of daily challenge. If you are serious about aligning your life with the greatest levels of success, you must now move beyond theory into deep daily discipline. Each morning, as you wake, notice the first thoughts that rise in your mind. Do they rush toward worry, anxiety, or a compulsive review of unfinished business? Or do you claim those first moments for intentional gratitude and clarity? If your habit is to dive into the demands of the day before you have centered yourself, you are forfeiting your power. Begin instead with a deliberate pause. Reflect, breathe, and remind yourself that your first duty is to align your mind, not to control the world. Let your first act be one of self-possession, not reaction. As you step into the day, train yourself to ask, what is in my control? What is not? Write this down if you must, until it becomes second nature. Focus your energy ruthlessly on what you can influence. That means your priorities, your standards, your responses to what arises. Everything else is background noise, unpredictable, uncontrollable, and irrelevant to your progress. When you notice your mind drifting into worry about the opinions of others, the outcome of events, or the pace of your advancement, pull your focus back. This is not a single act, but 100 acts throughout the day. This is how champions are made. You must also recognize that the world will test your resolve with distractions and delays. Unexpected interruptions, criticism, or the apparent success of others will tempt you to abandon your commitment to letting go. But here is where you must double down on your new philosophy. When someone disagrees with your choices, do not explain yourself into exhaustion. Let them have their opinions. When results come slower than expected, do not lower your standards or dilute your vision. Let time do its work. When you are misunderstood, overlooked, or even ridiculed, remain unmoved. Let others live in reaction. You must live in alignment. Consider how you respond to setbacks. Most people, when things go wrong, tighten their grip and try to force results. They become desperate, scattered, and frantic. But the master, trained in the discipline of letting go, does the opposite. He steps back, regroups, and examines the situation from a higher perspective. He asks, what is required of me now? And what is beyond my control? Then he takes clear, decisive action on the essentials and lets go of the rest. This is not resignation. It is intelligence. It is the ultimate form of power, knowing when to push and when to release. Letting go does not mean becoming passive or lazy. On the contrary, it requires more courage and more presence than most people are willing to develop. You must take full responsibility for your effort and your growth. You must plan, act, and pursue your vision with relentless intensity. But once you have done what you can, you must release your need to control every outcome. You do not beg, chase, or manipulate. You become the kind of person who attracts results by the sheer force of your inner certainty. People sense this, and they respond. Opportunities come not because you chased them desperately, but because you created the mental space for them to arrive. To further your mastery, pay attention to how you speak, both to yourself and to others. Words are extensions of your thinking, and every word is a signal to your subconscious mind about what is possible. If your language is filled with desperation, I must, I can't, if only, you are affirming lack and powerlessness. Replace these with the language of calm certainty. I choose, I allow, I trust. Speak as one who knows that success is inevitable, so long as the process is honored. This is not arrogance. It is the quiet confidence of one who has learned the laws of the mind. It is also time to surround yourself with people and environments that reinforce this way of thinking. You become what you are around. If your friends, colleagues, or mentors are addicted to drama and control, you will feel the pull of their energy. Seek out those who embody the principle of letting go, those who move with purpose but without strain. Study their habits. Watch how they act, how they respond to adversity, how they recover from setbacks. Learn from them not only their successes, but their serenity. As you continue, you must refine your relationship with time. Impatience is a sign that you do not trust the process, that you are demanding the universe conform to your schedule. But all great achievements take time. The oak does not become mighty in a season, nor does the river carve its canyon overnight. You must develop the ability to act boldly and then wait with discipline. This is the rarest quality among high achievers, the willingness to persist without visible results, to continue improving without applause, to endure the uncertainty between sowing and reaping. Guard your energy as you would guard your fortune. Stop pouring your mental and emotional resources into what you cannot control. The more you focus on your own standards, your own growth, your own work, the less you will feel the need to force or manipulate. As this habit takes root, you will find yourself feeling lighter, more creative, and more resilient. You will recover faster from disappointment. You will rebound with greater wisdom from every setback. Your progress will be steady, and others will wonder at your newfound calm and power. As you master the art of letting go, you will also master the art of receiving. Life cannot give to hands that are clenched tight. You must open yourself to surprise, to serendipity, to gifts that do not fit your old expectations. Often, the opportunities that transform your life come in forms you would have rejected if you were still trying to control every detail. Trust this. The more you let go, the more life exceeds your limited vision. You are training yourself not just for achievement, but for abundance. Keep a daily journal of your progress. Document the moments when you let go and the results that follow. Notice how much energy you save, how much peace you gain, and how many new paths open before you. When you are tempted to revert to old habits, review your journal. Let your own evidence convince you. Let your experience become your teacher. As you develop, you will find that your standards naturally rise. You will refuse to waste time on trivialities. You will stop apologizing for your priorities. You will become immune to the approval or criticism of the crowd. Your mind will become a fortress of calm focus, impenetrable to the storms of circumstance. This is the highest form of wealth, the ability to be at peace, to create on your own terms, and to attract results without the desperation of need. This is how you move from theory to mastery. This is how you become a person who does not merely achieve, but who thrives in the very process of living. The journey of letting go is endless, but every step you take brings you closer to the life you desire. You are not powerless. You are powerful beyond measure, so long as you remember to direct your energy only where it counts and release the rest. This is the practice. This is the way. Now, move forward and let your results speak for themselves. You have crossed into a territory where most people quit. This is the landscape of real transformation, the territory of discipline and deliberate surrender. Now, with every step, you must hold to the wisdom that letting go is not weakness, but a strategic mastery of self. If you want your life to align with success at a level most only dream of, you must become relentless in your inner standards and flexible in your outward expectations. Most people reverse this. They demand the world adjust to their whims while they neglect the discipline of their own thoughts and attitudes. The path to fulfillment is the opposite. Your thoughts are the architects of your experience. If you allow your mind to dwell in chaos, resentment, or comparison, you are inviting those energies to build your reality. But if you choose consciously, consistently, to plant thoughts of self-command, progress, and acceptance, your life will begin to mirror that intention. This is not a shallow think positive gimmick, but a daily, tireless cultivation. You are the gardener and the garden. Every day you must uproot the weeds of fear, self-pity, and control. Every day you must water the seeds of patience, faith, and determined action. Let's get practical. Review your day as a scientist would review data. Where did you lose your calm? What triggered you to react instead of respond? How did you use your voice? Was it filled with urgency and anxiety, or with clarity and direction? These are not small questions, but the foundation of your personal revolution. Journal the answers, but do not judge yourself. This is not about shame, it's about growth. If you repeat this process day after day, your self-awareness will become razor sharp and your progress will be inevitable. It's time to eliminate the illusion that you need to control other people in order to win. No one ever attained lasting greatness by micromanaging others or living for their approval. You must free yourself from the shackles of outside validations. Your standards must come from within. When you set goals, set them to please your future self, not to impress the crowd. The masses wander through life ruled by the invisible opinions of others. Never allow yourself to be one of them. When you operate from a foundation of self-respect, you make decisions faster, you recover from setbacks quicker, and you operate with an authority that draws others to you. Resist the urge to justify your actions to the world. This urge is rooted in insecurity and fear. The mind that is free from the need for approval is a mind that moves mountains. When criticism arrives, let it pass through you like the wind. Don't cling to praise. Don't bristle at rejection. Anchor yourself in the knowledge that you are acting from integrity and long-term vision. When you are calm in the storm, people will sense your quiet power, and that is far more influential than the loudest boast or the most desperate plea. As you move forward, recognize the subtle difference between surrender and indifference. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving over to a higher order, a wiser timing, a more expansive possibility than you could engineer alone. Indifference, on the other hand, is the abdication of responsibility. You must hold your purpose with passion, even as you relinquish control over how and when your results appear. This is advanced living, acting with unshakable conviction and releasing the outcome. The world is a mirror for your dominant beliefs. If you believe that struggle is necessary, you will manufacture struggle. If you believe that success requires anxiety, you will live in tension even when you are winning. But when you truly believe that you can succeed with a mind that is still, receptive, and trusting, the world will bend toward you. This is not magic. It is psychology and physics at work. The mind that lets go is free to see new solutions, recognize hidden opportunities, and move quickly when others are paralyzed by doubt. Be intentional with your routines. Success is not an event, but a system. If you create daily rituals that reinforce clarity, presence, and focus, you will begin to experience compound growth in every area of life. Review your goals every morning, but do not obsess. Plan your day with intention, but do not demand perfection. Show up fully, then let go. At night, reflect on what went well, release what you cannot change, and commit to improve one small thing tomorrow. This is how the unstoppable are made, not by giant leaps, but by relentless daily consistency. Develop the discipline of single tasking. In an age of distraction, your ability to focus is your superpower. Choose one priority and attack it with full intensity. When you complete it, let it go. Move on. Do not dilute your mind by trying to do everything at once or by ruminating over what cannot be changed. As your ability to focus deepens, your results will multiply because you are applying all your energy in one direction rather than scattering it in 1,000. The company you keep is either your ladder or your anchor. Surround yourself with those who operate from calm, determined action, who have learned to trust themselves and the process of life. Avoid the energy vampires, the chronic complainers, the manipulators, the fearful. They will pull you back to the level of mediocrity. Seek out those who embody the principles you want to master. Let their example challenge and inspire you. Remember, you are not entitled to immediate rewards. The world does not pay you for effort alone, but for the value you deliver and the standard you uphold. Sometimes your best work will be ignored, rejected, or even ridiculed before it is recognized. Accept this with stoic determination. Keep building, keep refining, keep moving forward. If you stay the course, the world will catch up. But if you collapse at the first sign of resistance, you will remain stuck among the masses who never fulfill their promise. Guard your peace. The mind that is at ease, free from the compulsion to force and control, is more creative, resilient, and resourceful than the mind that is frantic. Practice mental stillness. Breathe deeply, pause often, and remember that you are the master of your fate, not its servant. When you feel overwhelmed, pull back and get perspective. The higher you rise above your circumstances, the more clearly you see the path ahead. Every night, ask yourself, did I honor my standards today? Did I let go where I needed to? Did I push forward where I could? This simple reflection, repeated daily, will anchor you in self-mastery. Success is not a mystery. It is the result of 1,000 decisions to focus on what you control and release what you do not. This is how you refocus your mind and bend success toward you, not through force, but through unwavering commitment to the process. Never underestimate the power of a mind that is aligned, still, and resilient. In this state, you become unstoppable. In this state, life begins to work for you, not against you. And this, in the end, is the greatest wealth you can ever possess. You must understand that the battle for your life is first waged in your mind. Until you stop believing that control and manipulation are the tools of achievement, you will be a slave to anxiety. You were not born to control every detail. You were born to command your attention, direct your energy, and then let events unfold with the confidence of someone who knows their purpose. True influence is never found in desperate management of others or the frantic orchestration of circumstances. It is found in mastering your own thoughts and reactions. The most powerful individuals in history did not win by overpowering the world. They won by mastering themselves. So the world could not help but follow. When you look closely at the patterns of those who thrive under pressure, you'll find a single truth. They have trained themselves to respond rather than react. Reaction is the domain of the weak, the undisciplined, the one who has yet to understand the value of patience. Response is the skill of the victor. Reaction is born out of fear. Response is born out of clarity. When you let go of the compulsive need to react to everything, you reclaim your personal power and create a gap, an opening where wisdom and strategy can enter. You begin to see your circumstances for what they are, not for what your emotions paint them to be. In this gap, you choose, and in your choices, you build your legacy. To master this gap, practice conscious detachment. Imagine your emotions as passing clouds, not permanent weather systems. When frustration arises, do not deny it. Observe it. When fear whispers, don't chase it away. Let it speak. Then decide what to do with the message. This is the essence of letting go of control. Not ignoring your feelings, but refusing to be dominated by them. As you sharpen this skill, you'll notice your decisions become clearer, your actions more effective, and your spirit far lighter. You will feel the weight of perfectionism lift, replaced by the exhilarating freedom to act boldly and learn without shame. A crucial aspect of this transformation is learning to trust your process. Most people sabotage themselves by giving up too soon or by shifting strategies every time uncertainty arises. They want guarantees before they act, which is the greatest form of self-betrayal. No amount of planning or controlling will ever erase the unknown. Those who achieve extraordinary things do so because they move forward despite not knowing. They trust their preparation and adapt as they go. You must become one of them. Commit to your plan, execute with intensity, and then release your grip on the outcome. Your real power comes not from what happens, but from how you respond to what happens. There will be days when nothing goes according to plan, when your efforts appear wasted and your confidence wavers. In these moments, the world will test your resolve, daring you to quit or to double down on unhealthy control. Refuse both temptations. Instead, lean into faith, faith in your values, your learning, and the process that is unfolding. Remind yourself that the greatest transformations happen in the waiting, in the quiet moments where persistence is your only ally. This is where you prove to yourself and the universe that you are worthy of the life you envision. Every time you let go and move forward anyway, you build unshakable confidence, the kind that does not need the applause of others or the reassurance of visible progress. Do not make the mistake of idolizing the grind. Hustle is necessary, but it must be balanced by strategic pauses and mental reset. The world is full of exhausted people sprinting in circles, mistaking motion for progress. Their minds are cluttered, their spirits burned out. If you want to play the long game, learn to pause. A single hour of deep, detached reflection can save you weeks of pointless struggle. When you feel yourself spiraling into over-control, micromanaging details, obsessing over what others think, losing sleep over the uncontrollable, pause, breathe, pull back, regroup. When you return, you'll be sharper, more creative, and more resilient. Surround yourself with people who have learned to master their energy. Negative, controlling personalities are like quicksand. They will drag you down if you let them. Seek those who inspire calm, thoughtful action. Learn from their presence and adopt their habits. Notice how they handle setbacks, how they adjust without drama, how they maintain vision even when the future is foggy. Their examples are more valuable than 1,000 motivational speeches. If you want to align with success, align with those who embody the principles you aspire to live. The next level of letting go is learning to be comfortable with uncertainty. Most people are paralyzed by the unknown, so they try to lock down every variable before they act. This is a slow death for dreams. You must move before you're ready. The best opportunities will not wait for you to feel certain. Start where you are. Use what you have. Trust that clarity will come through movement, not through endless planning. You build confidence by acting, not by thinking about acting. Every leap into uncertainty is a declaration that you value growth over comfort, and success in every form is always a byproduct of growth. Consider the cost of clinging to control. It drains your energy, erodes your health, damages your relationships, and limits your earning power. How many brilliant ideas have died because their creators waited too long? How many partnerships have withered because of suspicion and micromanagement? How many fortunes have been lost by those who could not step back and see the bigger picture? The price is too high. Let go. Let your mind be still, your focus sharp, and your heart open. Only then can you seize the opportunities that others never notice. As you build this new habit, document your journey. Write down your lessons, your missteps, your victories. This is your personal manual for success. The most successful individuals are relentless note-takers, students of their own behavior. When you study yourself, you accelerate your evolution. Each page is a reminder that you are moving, growing, and becoming more formidable with every challenge. Resist the world's pressure to be always on, always controlling, always performing. True power comes from the confidence to pause, to wait for the right moment, and to trust that you are exactly where you need to be. You will attract what you are, not what you wish for. If you become a person of calm certainty, unwavering discipline, and flexible strategy, your circumstances will align to meet you at your level. Letting go is not a single act. It is a lifestyle. Each day, choose to loosen your grip just a little more. Release the need for instant validation, the urge to micromanage, the compulsion to compare yourself to others. Reclaim your energy and direct it where it matters most. Your goals, your vision, your continuous improvement. You will notice a new peace settling into your daily routine, a quiet assurance that you are on the right path even when the way ahead is hidden. Your stress will drop, your relationships will deepen, and your results will accelerate, not because you forced them, but because you finally allowed them. The world begins to move in your favor when you stop fighting it. This is the master that the crowd never understands. They spend their lives trying to force outcomes, control people, and demand guarantees. They never realize that by letting go, you create the space for real achievement to enter. You become magnetic, drawing in opportunities, allies, and ideas with seemingly no effort. In reality, your effort is just directed within, where the real work was always meant to be done. If you want a life of exceptional results, make this the rule by which you live. Control yourself and nothing else. Trust the process, refine your actions, and release your expectations. Do this, and you will find yourself standing in the rarest territory of all, the territory where your life aligns with success, and the struggle is replaced with a flow that no force can resist. This is the promise of self-mastery, and it is yours for the taking if you have the courage to let go. You have now traveled far enough on this journey that you can look back and see with clarity the shackles you once wore, the invisible chains of control, perfectionism, and restless striving that once convinced you they were necessary for success. But look at the evidence before you now. The moments when you loosened your grip, trusted your preparation, and allowed life to unfold, these were the moments when progress came easier, creativity flourished, and the right people or opportunities appeared with uncanny timing. Letting go is not passivity. It is the discipline to trust what you have put in motion and to meet life as it arrives, with courage and alertness. This is the hidden secret of all who rise to greatness. They know when to act and they know when to wait. Understand that most people will never experience the freedom you are now building. They are ruled by fear, living every day in a desperate attempt to orchestrate every detail, terrified that a single misstep will topple their hopes. Their lives become small and anxious, full of friction, chasing guarantees that can never be found. Do not join them. Stand apart by living in harmony with uncertainty. See setbacks as signals, not threats. Trust your adaptability, your resourcefulness, your ability to grow under pressure. The more you let go of controlling the world, the more command you gain over your own mind, and in this internal command lies every advantage. There is a profound truth that only those who dare to release control can ever discover. Life does not respond to your frantic demands, but to your energy. If your aura is tense, anxious, and controlling, you repel what you desire most: opportunities, connection, inspiration, abundance. But when you train yourself to remain steady, open, and resilient, you become magnetic. The very things you once chased with desperation now begin to find you, because you have become the kind of person who can handle them wisely. The universe is never late. It simply waits for you to be ready. And readiness is not achieved through force, but through self-mastery. Letting go, then, is not surrendering your ambition. It is making your ambition more effective. Instead of scattering your energy across 100 tasks, you learn to focus deeply on what matters, execute with excellence, and then trust that the results will emerge in the right form and time. When you let go of micromanaging outcomes, you liberate your attention to notice patterns, possibilities, and creative solutions that elude those trapped in tunnel vision. Success is always a byproduct of attention and adaptation. You must become a master of both. The world will continue to test your resolve. Every new level of achievement brings new uncertainty, new risks, new doubts. There will always be a temptation to revert to old habits, to grasp, to manipulate, to panic when progress is not visible. Recognize these urges as echoes of a former self. You are no longer at war with life. You are now in partnership with it. The most successful people know that fortune favors those who can dance with uncertainty, who can endure ambiguity, and who can hold their vision steady while taking bold, flexible action. This is your new identity, the calm within the storm, the presence that does not falter when the future is unclear. If you want to build a life that grows richer with each season, establish daily rituals that reinforce your trust in the process. Begin each day with stillness, a moment to center your thoughts, clarify your priorities, and remind yourself of what you can control and what you must release. Practice gratitude, not just for victories, but for the setbacks that have built your strength. When obstacles arise, pause and ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? In this shift of questioning, you will find the wisdom that separates the self-mastered from the self-defeated. Surround yourself with reminders that reinforce your growth. Keep a journal to capture the lessons that come from letting go. Notice the patterns, how your finest insights often appear after you stop forcing solutions, how your most valuable relationships deepen when you stop trying to control others and start serving with authenticity. Watch as your influence grows, not because you demand it, but because you have become the person who deserves it. There is another essential principle. Your environment either supports or sabotages your commitment to letting go. Eliminate the sources of noise, distraction, and negativity that fuel your need to control. Be ruthless about your boundaries. Protect your peace as you would protect your fortune, because in many ways it is the foundation upon which all future wealth will be built. Curate your surroundings to inspire clarity, focus, and reflection. Choose relationships that nurture calm, strategic action. Say no to chaos and yes to simplicity and order. As you continue to let go, you will experience resistance, not just from the world, but from within. Old fears will resurface. Doubt will whisper that without force and control, you will fall behind. Ignore these lies. Remember that your progress is measured not by how much you force, but by how much you create with ease and intention. The best proof of your evolution is not how hard you work, but how calmly and consistently you produce results while others burn themselves out. True mastery is revealed when you can walk away from what no longer serves your purpose, when you can accept what you cannot change, and when you can persist in building what matters most even when no one else understands your path. The courage to let go and trust the process is the rarest, most profitable discipline you can develop. Those who possess it become immune to criticism, undeterred by setbacks, and untempted by shortcuts. Your final challenge is to teach this philosophy by example. The greatest leaders, creators, and innovators do not preach from a distance. They live the principles they espouse. Let your presence speak of calm confidence. Let your decisions reflect trust in the journey, not desperation for quick wins. Mentor others, not by rescuing them from uncertainty, but by modeling how to face it with wisdom and strength. When you help others embrace uncertainty, you multiply your impact and expand the ripple effect of your own transformation. There is a deeper victory awaiting you beyond money, recognition, or external achievement. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your highest potential. You have chosen faith over fear, discipline over chaos, wisdom over impulse. Your mind is no longer a battlefield, but a fertile ground for growth. Life will test you again, but each time you will return to this truth. You are more powerful when you let go of what you cannot control and give your all to what you can. The process of letting go is lifelong. There will be new horizons, new uncertainties, and new levels of challenge. Embrace them. Remember that your success is not a single moment, but a continuous unfolding. Every day is a new opportunity to practice presence, to respond with clarity, and to shape your reality through conscious choice. Do not settle for less. Do not be lulled by comfort or seduced by the illusion of security. Growth lives at the edge of what you can control. Prosperity belongs to those willing to stand in that uncertainty and act with faith. Letting go of control does not mean giving up your dreams. It means giving up the illusion that you must suffer to achieve them. You are free to enjoy the process, to celebrate your progress, and to welcome abundance with open hands. When you detach from outcomes and focus on mastery, life aligns with your intentions in ways you could never have orchestrated. Make this your new mantra. I control myself, I release the rest. Repeat it until it becomes second nature. Allow it to guide your decisions, your responses, and your habits. In time, you will notice your world bending in your favor, not because you forced it, but because you became the type of person who attracts and sustains success. When doubt arises, and it will, remind yourself that you have evidence of your own power. Look at how far you have come, what you have built, and how you have grown. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes next. When others cling to panic, you will stand firm. When the world wavers, you will be a steady hand in the storm. In the end, success is not a prize at the finish line. It is the confidence, wisdom, and freedom you develop every step of the way. By letting go of control, you open yourself to a higher quality of results, deeper relationships, and a level of fulfillment that cannot be shaken by external events. You become the architect of your destiny, guided by purpose, energized by possibility, and empowered by trust. This is your legacy, a life lived fully, courageously, and freely, unburdened by the old chains of fear and compulsion. Others will notice the ease and joy with which you move through life and wonder about your secret. Let your actions reveal the answer. You have mastered the art of letting go, and now everything you desire aligns itself to meet you right on time. That is the promise of a mind and life in true harmony with success.